Welcome to Udo TV. This time we're discussing creating your personal health and wellness pack. Today we're really embarking on a fascinating exploration. We're looking deep into how different compounds, from natural plant-based powerhouses to, well, common household items, can profoundly impact your well-being. Our mission here is to uncover some surprising facts and hopefully share practical applications for your daily life, helping you make truly informed choices for yourself and for your home.
That's exactly right. Our sources for this exploration, they reveal this remarkable spectrum, really, of health solutions. On one hand, you've got these potent natural remedies, things used for centuries. And then on the other end, we're looking at the careful consideration of substances you might just have sitting in your pantry right now. And this whole spectrum presents a really crucial distinction from a lot of common factory products. Those can often contain synthetic chemicals that might actually cause harm. So our focus today is squarely on helping you figure out what genuinely supports a healthy body and, just as importantly, a healthy living environment.
Okay, let's unpack this right away then. Our sources point to something quite exciting, almost, you could say, a revolutionary global paradigm shift towards natural remedies. These are often called nutraceuticals. And it seems like a significant move away from relying only on pharmaceuticals. Now, pharmaceuticals are absolutely vital, of course, in many areas, but they can sometimes be costly or unavailable or, come with unwanted side effects. What's really insightful here, I think, is the reason behind this shift. It seems to be a growing realization that our bodies, well, they've evolved over millennia, haven't they? And they often respond best to the kind of intricate biological blueprints found in nature. These natural compounds are just inherently more similar to our body's own systems, which makes them incredibly effective at supporting healthy bodily functions.
And what's truly compelling is that foods we use all the time for flavor, think about ginger, turmeric, garlic, they aren't just making food taste good. They contain this complex, symphony of potent bioactive compounds. And if we think about the broader implications, these compounds offer significant health and physiological benefits. They provide what really amounts to a gentle but powerful natural therapeutic potential. It works with our bodies, not against them.
Okay, so let's start building that wellness pack. Let's talk about ginger first. It's a tropical flowering plant cultivated for ages. And traditionally, well, it's been a real go-to for preventing different kinds of nausea, hasn't it? Like morning sickness and pregnancy or menstrual pain.
Right.
I was particularly struck by how its fresh juice acts as this potent anti-inflammatory. Apparently, it helps ease joint problems, things like osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis, and even just general muscle pains. People have even used it traditionally for skin burns and as an antiviral, for flu and colds. It's clearly way more than just something you put in a stir fry.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. And it really begs the question, what exactly is inside ginger that makes it such a powerhouse? Well, our sources reveal this wealth of active compounds, things like gingerol, paradol, shogal, and zingerone. Take zingerone, for instance. It's recognized for its anti-cancer, antioxidant, and antimicrobial activities. But what's particularly fascinating is that these compounds don't just work alone. They often work together, synergistically, in this complex dance. And they create effects far greater than the sum of their parts. Together, they've been suggested to improve blood sugar levels and insulin sensitivity, reduce cancer risk, and help with a whole range of gastrointestinal issues like upset stomach and bloating. And interestingly, for those focused on weight management, certain paradols in ginger seem particularly effective in helping the body burn fat for warmth thermogenesis, especially in specific types of fat cells. It's just an incredible example of nature's sophisticated chemistry.
Wow. Okay, next up then, let's talk turmeric. That incredibly vibrant golden spice, it colors so many dishes, and it's become a really popular supplement too. Beyond just being a condiment and coloring agent, our sources highlight its pretty impressive nutritional punch. Apparently, just a single tablespoon contains significant amounts of iron, potassium, vitamin C, and manganese. That meets a notable portion of your daily human requirements right there.
It does. And its star compound, curcumin,
Yeah.
that's really where the magic happens.
Yeah.
Curcumin boasts these remarkable anti-inflammatory properties. They can significantly reduce pain, especially helpful for people suffering from arthritis.
Yeah.
It also has powerful antioxidant abilities. These protect the liver from toxins. Beyond that, it can aid digestion, it can effectively reduce blood cholesterol, and its potential uses in treating really serious conditions like cancer, prediabetes, and Alzheimer's disease are being widely explored in our sources. Now, there's a small caution worth noting. Pregnant women should probably be careful with concentrated turmeric supplements because of potential blood thinning effects. Also, it can stimulate gastric acid production. Now, That's positive for some digestive systems, but it might affect others differently. So something to be aware of.
Right, always good to know the nuances. Finally, let's shine a light on garlic, a really powerful plant in the onion family, isn't it? Cultivated for that distinct, flavorful bulb. It's such a staple in kitchens everywhere. You can eat it raw if you're brave,
Hmm.
or use the oil, extract, powder.
Definitely. My grandmother swore by it too,
Ah,
and
exactly.
for good reason. What makes garlic so special, so potent, are its main components, these sulfur-containing compounds. Things like allicin, lion, and ajoene. These are precisely what give it that unique smell, but more importantly, its profound medicinal properties. Garlic is known to significantly amplify the function of the immune system,
Mm.
boost it up.
Hmm.
It also helps to reduce high blood pressure and improve cholesterol levels. Its powerful antioxidants provide crucial support to the body against oxidative stress, and our sources even link its benefits to conditions like Alzheimer's disease and even skin issues like itching, ringworm, and athlete's foot.
Really, athlete's foot.
Apparently so. And compounds like ajoene and allyl sulfides, for instance, are specifically reported to have anti-cancer properties. These compounds, like with ginger and turmeric, are truly similar to your body's natural processes. They support its healthy functioning. They're incredible natural therapeutic agents. You're listening to Unto TV.
Okay, so let's broaden our understanding now of what belongs in this personal health and wellness pack. Let's explore another really familiar item, something probably in your pantry right now. Baking soda. Our sources highlight it as an, and I quote, essential ingredient for natural cleaning. And crucially, it's non-toxic to humans and the environment, made from almost inexhaustible raw materials.
Yeah.
This presents such a powerful contrast, doesn't it, to many common factory products, which, as we mentioned earlier, may contain toxic chemicals that potentially cause harm. It really forces us to question if more complex or more expensive truly means better when a simple mineral like this offers such profound, safe solutions.
That's a great point, especially when we think about how we use everyday products for our health, like for dental hygiene. Baking soda is indeed a mild abrasive. Our sources confirm it can effectively remove external stains, the ones caused by coffee, tea, certain foods, so it can improve the appearance of your teeth.
Okay.
However, it is important to understand a key detail here. It doesn't really have an effect on the actual color of your tooth's dentin. That's the underlying tissue that gives your teeth their natural color. So it cleans the surface, yes, but it doesn't bleach the natural tooth color from within.
Ah, okay. So what does this mean for oral hygiene then? If it won't drastically whiten the natural color, what's the main benefit?
Well, while it won't give you super white teeth by changing the dentin color, its more significant benefit, and this is really interesting, comes when you use it as a mouthwash.
As a mouthwash.
Yes, it works by increasing the pH of your mouth. It makes the environment less acidic. And a less acidic environment is much less friendly, less conducive to the appearance of bacteria.
Ah, that makes sense.
It also helps prevent plaque buildup. And let's face it, it's considerably more affordable than many commercial mouthwash products out there.
Right.
Just a teaspoon mixed in a glass of water can apparently make a real difference.
Hmm. But I guess there's always a but, isn't there?
Well, there's an important consideration, yes. Can too much of a good thing actually be detrimental? Our sources do caution that repeated and constant use of raw baking soda, specifically for teeth whitening, can actually damage tooth enamel over time. That can lead
Oh.
to increased sensitivity and, a greater likelihood of cavities. Also, vigorous brushing with it could potentially inflame, cause bleeding, or hurt your gums.
Okay, so gentleness is key.
Exactly. And its effectiveness in removing all types of stains is limited too. Therefore, the suggestion often is that using toothpastes that already contain baking soda in a formulated way is often more recommended than just dipping your brush in the raw stuff. It's about informed application, isn't it?
Absolutely. Informed choice. Okay, but beyond oral care, the sort of unassuming effectiveness of baking soda really shined in so many practical uses around the home. It reinforces that natural, non-toxic appeal. Our sources call it an excellent deodorizer. You can apparently apply it directly to your armpits, maybe with slightly damp skin, to help keep dry and absorb odors.
Mm-hmm.
It also works wonders, apparently, as a deodorizer for refrigerators, just an open box or container with a few spoonfuls. And for trash cans, just sprinkle some in the bottom to neutralize odors.
Yeah, classic uses.
It's incredibly versatile for eliminating smells from things like mold, sweat, urine, pets, even musty old cabinets. The advice is usually to sprinkle it, let it sit for a while, ideally overnight, and then just vacuum it up.
It really forces you to reconsider the simple power of single ingredient, doesn't it?
It really does.
And it's also a powerful natural cleaner. For the bathroom, for instance, our sources suggest a simple but highly effective mixture: baking soda and white vinegar. This combination is apparently excellent for removing mold from grout lines, shower curtains, tiles, bathtubs.
Ah, the fizzing reaction.
Exactly. And for stubborn burnt pots and pans, a similar mix, baking soda, hot water, and white vinegar, can help lift that grime off the bottom. It can even help maintain your pipes. Pouring, say, 3 tablespoons of baking soda down the drain, followed by a glass of white vinegar. Let that reaction happen for about 10 minutes, then rinse with hot water. That can help clean and even unclog them.
That's brilliant.
It's just so clear that natural solutions like baking soda support a healthy home environment without relying on potentially toxic chemicals found in many factory products, chemicals that may cause harm.
You're listening to Udo TV. Okay, here's where things get really interesting, I think, as we pivot to another crucial aspect of health. Wound care. We often hear about antiseptics, right? But what are they exactly? And how do they fit into this idea of a personal health and wellness pack? It feels like a different category altogether from what we've discussed, moving from internal support and home care to, well, immediate external intervention.
That's an excellent distinction to make, because understanding the clear difference between disinfection and antisepsis is really vital. They often get confused. Disinfection, that's specifically for inanimate surfaces, like countertops, medical instruments. The aim is to destroy pathogenic microorganisms there.
Right, cleaning surfaces.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Antisepsis, however, that involves applying chemical products directly onto living tissues like skin or into wounds to eliminate or inactivate those pathogenic microorganisms. And it's important to realize it's a non-selective action, meaning it tends to eliminate all types of germs on that living tissue, both the potentially harmful ones and any beneficial ones that might be present.
Okay, so our sources discuss various antiseptics. One that probably springs to mind for many people is hydrogen peroxide, or agua oxigenada, as it's known in some places. When it's used at a low concentration, like 1.5 to 3%, it's a bactericidal agent, meaning it kills bacteria.
Hmm.
It's immediately effective against a wide range of bacteria, both gram-positive and gram-negative, and apparently even viruses at that 3% concentration. Sounds
Wow.
pretty potent, doesn't it?
It does sound potent. But this brings up a really crucial question. Given that immediate and broad action, why isn't hydrogen peroxide recommended for routine wound cleaning?
Yeah, why not? You see people pouring it on cuts all the time in movies.
Right, but if we connect this to the bigger picture of effective and safe wound care, well, there's several reasons. Firstly, hydrogen peroxide has no residual effect. Its action is immediate, bang, but it doesn't last. So it doesn't provide ongoing protection.
Ah, okay.
More importantly, perhaps, it becomes inactive very quickly when it comes into contact with organic matter like blood or tissue remnants in a wound.
So it stops working right where you need it most.
Precisely, making it pretty ineffective in a real wound situation. And here's where it gets really important for your personal health and wellness pack idea. Our sources explicitly state that it can be irritating to open wounds. And critically, it may even damage the healthy tissue surrounding the wound, the very tissue trying to heal.
Oh, wow. So it could actually slow down healing.
Potentially, yes, which means that while it can kill germs in a lab setting, it needs to be used with extreme caution on the body. And it is explicitly not recommended for the routine cleaning of wounds. Its use is often suggested to be limited to very specific situations, maybe under medical guidance, where the bacterial load absolutely needs to be controlled and only for a very limited period. It's definitely not a general health remedy you just splash on anything.
This is precisely where that emphasis on natural remedies supporting your body really shines through again, doesn't it? The source material also notes that other chemical antiseptics have similar drawbacks or specific limitations, like alcohol at 7%. It's also bactericidal, often used to clean skin before an injection, right?
Right, intact skin.
But it shouldn't be used directly on open wounds because it's very irritating and can actually form a kind of clot that traps bacteria underneath, preventing proper cleaning. And povidone iodine, that brown stuff. Another common bactericidal agent, but it also has issues. It gets inactivated by organic matter, just like hydrogen peroxide. And it can be cytotoxic, meaning it can harm your own cells. And what's more, with systematic or prolonged use, it can even potentially lead to kidney or thyroid dysfunction because the body can absorb the iodine systemically.
Hmm.
It seems really clear these chemical options aren't always the gentle, body-supporting solutions we might be looking for in a general wellness pack. It really reinforces the idea that natural remedies are often superior to these kinds of chemical treatments for general everyday applications.
What's truly illuminating here, really, is that the recommended approach for routine wound cleaning, according to our sources, is often much simpler, much safer, and far more aligned with supporting the body's own natural healing processes.
So, what is recommended then?
The ideal method cited is simply using an isotonic saline solution, basically sterile salt water that matches the body's salt concentration, and importantly, using it at a temperature of about 30–35 degrees Celsius, which is lukewarm. Why lukewarm? Because cold solutions can actually slow down the healing process, the cellular activity. So this simple saline approach completely avoids the potential harm or the ineffectiveness you might get from harsh chemical antiseptics when they're applied broadly or incorrectly. It truly highlights that when it comes to caring for our bodies, especially with something like an open wound, natural support and careful, informed choices are often superior to just reaching for a harsh chemical treatment, especially when, as we've said, common factory products may contain toxic chemicals that could cause harm.
So, wrapping this all up, what does it all mean for your personal health and wellness pack? We've journeyed from the really incredible immune-boosting power of things like ginger, turmeric, and garlic, absolutely packed with bioactive compounds that seem to work in harmony with your body,
Mhm.
to the surprising versatility of something as simple as baking soda as a non-toxic, effective household cleaner, and even, when used correctly, an oral care solution. And we've also seen pretty clearly how natural remedies can be superior to chemical treatments in many everyday contexts, offering profound benefits that chemical agents often can't, usually without the harsh side effects you might find in common factory products. And while substances like hydrogen peroxide or povidone iodine definitely have their very specific, limited roles in controlled medical settings for certain types of wound care, they're absolutely not general wellness solutions to be used routinely or without expert guidance.
Yeah, the key takeaway from our exploration today really feels like informed choice. Understanding exactly what you're putting into your body, onto your body, and using in your home. It's about maybe leaning into the wealth of natural options that genuinely support healthy body function in a healthy home environment, rather than just blindly relying on chemicals or commercial products that might not be the best long-term solution for you.
Absolutely. So here's a provocative thought, perhaps, for you to consider as you build or refine your own personal health and wellness pack. If these simple, natural compounds derived just from plants and minerals can offer such profound and gentle support for our health and our homes, what other everyday natural elements might we be overlooking or underestimating in our quest for optimal well-being?